Am I the asshole cheating to get a promotion? I put the cheating in quotes because I don't think it's cheating, but my colleagues disagree. I'm in my 30s and everyone involved are between 30–50. About 6 months ago, our unit VP announced his retirement by the end of the year, so the company went into search mode. We recently found out our manager will be promoted into the VP position, so now his position needs to be filled. Which brings us to my current situation. I'm single with no kids, so I have no other responsibilities except to myself. I really want this position because it's a visible position and a great stepping stone to my career, as seen by my manager's promotion, and it'll almost double my pay. Once we found out about our manager's promotion, I started to take on extra projects and taking work home. I leave work at my normal hours, then work from home until 9 or 10 p.m., even on the weekends. All of those extra hours have allowed me to take on harder projects that other people turn down and complete more than anyone else. My manager and the VP have noticed and complimented me on my hustle. My colleagues also noticed my increased production. Last week a work friend asked me how I'm able to do all of those projects in 8 hours, and I told her about my nights and weekends. Word got around, and this week during our weekly conference call, my colleagues told me to cut it out. They accused me of cheating because I'm putting in the amount of hours they can't, so I'm skewing the production numbers. I refused and don't think it's cheating at all, and argued they can put in the same amount of hours. Some said they can't because of family time, and others refuse to work hours they won't get paid for. We're all on salary. We spent most of the meeting arguing about it. Am I cheating? Am I the asshole? Edit. I didn't add it to the post because of character limits. My colleagues and I are all supervisors. I have a mentor who's a VP in a different unit, and he's advising me on the promotion process and steps I need to take. He also told me what to expect if I get promoted, so I'm going into this fully informed. Basically, my manager worked about 50–60 hours a week because he's always on call. I can go into more details, but it'll just bore you. Feel free to ask and I'll update if I see the same questions repeated. Edit 2. This has been brought up many times. I won't get promoted just because I hustled for a month or two. Management looks over my entire career and time at the company. However, my mentor told me to think of it as having an important project coming up and what will I do to complete it. He said my VP and manager don't expect me to keep up the production but are looking to see who is climbing for the open position. He goes on to say, with everything being equal, skills, knowledge, etc., there is little chance for a person who religiously work only 40 hours to be promoted to a position that requires 50–60 hours. Personally, I view the double in pay more than compensate for the increasing hours. You're not cheating, but you are at risk of being expected to give up your free time outside of work once, or if you get the promotion. Not the asshole. In TA, not cheating, but it's likely to burn yourself out over time. Are you planning on keeping up this pace and volume of work in perpetuity? If yes, then it's fine. But if it's just a temporary thing, you may find yourself overwhelmed in the future. It's a choice many people make at your age, but keep in mind, it's typically hard to successfully navigate scaling back later in career if you do choose to have a family, so that may be a cause of stress and disappointment for you later in life if that's a path you choose. Am I the asshole for refusing to have my kid in my work's free daycare on my ex's days with her? I, 30F, have an adorable 6-year-old daughter with my ex-boyfriend, 32M. We broke up when she was 2 years old and we share custody 50–50. Childcare during the pandemic was not a big problem since I used to WFH. After we got back to work, we put her in after-school daycare, childcare. Her school lets out at 2:30 p.m., the center is in school, and she stays there until one of us picks her up, usually no later than 6 p.m. We used to split the cost 50–50. About 2 months ago I landed a job with a great benefits package. One of them includes an on-site daycare. When it's my days with her, I take about 40 minutes to drive to her school and back to work. That means I have to stay an extra 40 minutes at work to make up for it. Since I stopped paying half of our old daycare, my ex now has to pay all of it, which is not a small amount. He asked if I could have her in my on-site daycare every day. At first I said okay, as long as he dropped her off. I do not want to stay 40 minutes after 5 p.m. every day. He said that he can't get off work to drive her to me, it will take him 1 hour to do that. So I told him he either drops her off at my work, or he can keep paying for daycare. He says I am an awe. So am I the asshole? Edit. For all the people going at me for not informing him, I did. Before taking the job I told him that I will be taking it, what that means for childcare, and the fact that I will be moving closer to my job. He knew what would happen. I didn't just not pay my half of daycare one day and suddenly go. Deal with it, I have free childcare now. Also he has a flexible job, just like I do. He can take off an hour to drive her to my workplace, he would just have to stay later, finish work at home. Not the asshole, dude can't even bother to drive her, he can pay if he doesn't want the inconvenience. Not the asshole. If he wants to enjoy the privilege of utilizing your work daycare on his custody days, then he needs to figure out how to get her there. It's extremely unreasonable of him to try to demand that you rearrange your workdays to save him money. Not the asshole you're letting him use your work's daycare as long as he drops your daughter off. That's completely reasonable. If he can't accommodate that, he needs to sort out daycare on the days he has her. You drive her and sacrifice time at work so either he can too or he can pay for the ease of a closer daycare. Am I the asshole for leaving my wife at the store after waiting 1.5 hours for her? Obviously. So today was my day off during the week, which I like to use for cleaning the house, running errands, and relaxing in the evening. So my wife and I were running errands with our 2 kids, 2 and 3 months, and everything was going fine. We got groceries, washed the car, and made a stop at a store about 20–30 minutes away from home. It's getting close to the time we have dinner, so we start heading home. As we're going home, my wife says we need to stop by a department store so she can pick up something she ordered that they shipped to the store. That's fine, the store is on the way home about 15 minutes from our house. My wife assures me it'll only be like 10 minutes. That's cool. As we're driving to the store, the older child falls asleep because they didn't get their nap, so I tell her to run in and I'll stay in the car with the kids. She goes in, 10 minutes goes by, 20 minutes goes by. No prob. Maybe there's a line. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, she's still gone. I call her to see if she's okay, no answer. I call her again at 50 minutes and she says she hasn't picked the thing up because she saw something she wanted to try on, so she's been doing that. I ask her to finish up so we can go home because our kid is tired and needs dinner and bed. I wait. Still nothing. After an hour I call again and she says she's gonna be a while. Her mom showed up and they're trying stuff on. I tell her to please hurry, the car has been running, gas is expensive, and our kids are starting to wake up. Again she says she's almost done. During this time both of our kids wake up and start screaming, crying. I get the older one calmed down, but the younger is hungry and my boobs don't work that way, so I can't feed him. It's been 1.5 hours. I call her and tell her I'm leaving with the kids because they're starving and tired. She can get a ride home with her mom who lives near us. She huffs and says she's coming, so I wait another 10 minutes and she's still not there, so I leave. As I'm driving I get angry calls from her and Mill about how could I abandon my wife at the store like that. My Mill says I was an asshole and way out of line. So Reddit, am I the asshole? At first I started reading the post and was determined that you would be the asshole, up until I saw your wife decided to leave you in the car with your hungry and tired children who were screaming and crying while she spent an hour and a half trying clothes on, which was not originally the plan. Your wife is an asshole for being selfish and not thinking of you and your kids. She and your Mill are the assholes here. Clearly, you are not the asshole. Not the asshole. Who the hell makes someone wait with their young children in a car for over an hour? That's insanity and so completely inconsiderate just so she could try things on. Not okay. She should be apologizing to you. Your wife literally has no consideration for yours or your children's time. She's a big asshole though. Not the asshole who goes in to pick something up then starts trying on clothes? And she wasn't stranded rolling on the floor laughing, she was 20 minutes from home with her mom. Am I the asshole for not going to Thanksgivings because I know I'll be stuck being the babysitter? I'm the youngest cousin in the family by a lot. I was a surprise mistake. All of my older cousins have kids. Every Thanksgiving we go to my aunt's house. My cousins put their kids in the playroom and start drinking and I get stuck watching the kids all day. Anytime one cries or has to go for the bathroom or any of them fight, I get stuck dealing with it. They also sit at the kids' table. I complain to my mom every year and she just tells me it's not like that, and is it a big deal to give the parents the day off? I don't look forward to Thanksgiving anymore because it happens every year. My boyfriend inviting me to his family Thanksgiving this year and I decided to go. I told my mom and she is flipping out, telling me it will break her heart to not have me there for Thanksgiving and everyone will miss me. I just want to enjoy Thanksgiving this year. I'm 22F for everyone asking. Not the asshole she had years to listen to you, and now she's reaping what she sowed. She's being kind of dim if she doesn't give you any options and then it's surprised when you take one when somebody else offers. You're 22 and at the kids' table? Are they gonna miss you, or miss having an unpaid nanny? Not the asshole, go to the other Thanksgiving. Mom says, it's not like that, and is it a big deal to give the parents a day off? If she feels that way, your mom should volunteer for babysitting duty and sit at the kids' table. Same outcome for the parents. If she balks at that idea, she knows this isn't fair, and it is like that. Not the asshole. Explain to your mom what you said here. You are tired of being the free babysitter and want to enjoy your holiday.